Toronto Dementia Research Alliance's education session on brain health and dementia. I'm Steph Fauquier, a member of the TDRA's Lived Experience Committee. I faced the harsh realities of Alzheimer's disease firsthand, as my beautiful, amazing mom was diagnosed with this challenging disease. I'll share more about our journey later on. We're thrilled to have you join us today at the Center for Addiction and Mental Health, CAMH, on this promising day dedicated to understanding, discussing, and exploring dementia, research, care, a topic that is so critically important. For those new to our events, the Toronto Dementia Research Alliance, TDRA, is a collaboration among the University of Toronto and the 6 leading academic hospitals in the Greater Toronto Area. TDRA's goal is to enhance the connection between basic science and clinical research with the aim of improving our understanding, prevention, and treatment of dementia. To achieve these goals, TDRA engages in numerous cross-institutional initiatives, including organizing educational events like the one you're attending today. Our session today is taking place at one of TDRA's member sites, CAMH, which recognizes the land we're on. CAMH is situated on lands that have been occupied by First Nations for millennia, lands rich in civilizations with knowledge of medicine, architecture, technology, and extensive trade routes throughout the Americas. In 1860, the site of CAMH appeared in the Colonial Records Office of the British Crown as the council grounds of the Mississaugas of the New Credit, as they were known at the time. Today, Toronto is covered by the Toronto Purchase, Treaty Number 13 of 1805, with the Mississaugas of the Credit. Toronto is now home to a vast diversity of First Nations, Inuit, and Métis who enrich this city. CAMH is committed to reconciliation. We will honor the land through programs and places that reflect and respect its heritage. We will embrace the healing traditions of the ancestors and weave them into our caring practices. We will create new relationships and partnerships with First Nations, Inuit, and Métis, and share the land and protect it for future generations. Today, from 10 to 2 p.m., we have a lineup of exceptional presentations, led by esteemed experts in the field. We think you'll find it exciting. On our agenda, we have real stories, real impact. So hear from a care partner and someone who's currently living with dementia about their dementia journey. Their story opens our day, setting a heartfelt tone as we explore the human side of dementia care. Demystifying dementia. Ever wondered what really causes dementia and what you can do about it? Dr. David Tang Wei has some enlightening answers that might surprise you. Mental health meets brain health. Dr. Corinne Fisher will navigate us through the complex interplay between mental health and dementia and what's on the horizon for treatments. Inclusive health for all. Dr. Jana Lunsky shines a light on how we can support aging adults with developmental disabilities. It's about making brain health accessible to everyone. Sleep well, think well. Discover the secret link between sleep and brain health with Dr. Andrew Lim. Spoiler, good sleep is a big deal for your brain. Engage your senses, protect your brain. Ready to use your senses to fight dementia? Dr. Allison Sekuler will show us some lifestyle tweaks that can make a big difference. And why your role in research matters. Dr. Mary Chu is here to inspire us with reasons why joining in on dementia research is crucial and how it can lead to breakthroughs in advancing our understanding. And there's more. Enjoy interactive talks, a brain-boosting exercise break with Kanoku, and connect with experts over lunch at our exhibit tables. So before we begin, a few housekeeping notes. Can you hear? Is this better? Okay. Sorry. Yay! Okay. So a few housekeeping notes. We have a seamless speaker flow, so enjoy our fantastic speakers. We'll introduce themselves, so you'll always know who's talking. You can read more about each speaker in the registration packages you picked up. You're in for an enlightening ride from one presentation to the next. Our lunch details. So hungry for knowledge and food. Lunch will be set up in the room just to the right, so feel free to grab your meal and bring it back to your table. Let's mix nourishment with knowledge. Meet our exhibitors. During lunch, our exhibitors will be ready to chat in the hallway, so don't miss the chance to stop by and dive deeper into the world of dementia care and research with them. And finally, finding your way. If you need a break, washrooms are just outside. Take a right or left and look for the signs. If you need to step out during the presentation, please do so quietly to keep the focus on our wonderful speakers and presenters. I'm sorry that you missed the first part. So hopefully you can hear me better now. Okay, so my care story. Like I said, I'm Steph, and this is my story. A few years ago, my sister Claire called me and asked me if I noticed any changes in our mom. I had, but I desperately didn't want to admit it. I was in denial, choosing to believe nothing had changed. Our mom is intelligent, super sharp, and able to keep many balls in the air. We noticed a change when mom repeated the same question many times over. This unfortunately was the beginning of our new adventure with Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's disease is an irreversible progressive brain disorder that slowly impairs memory and cognitive abilities due to the death of brain cells and the breakdown of connections. Alzheimer's is the most common cause of dementia, accounting for 60 to 80% of cases. The progression and rate of decline vary widely, making each case unique and complicating the search for effective treatments and a cure. Unfortunately, my mom, Robin, passed away 10 weeks ago at the young age of 72. Sorry. I didn't think that would make me tear up. Sorry, one second. I'm incredibly lucky. I have the world's greatest mom. I won the lottery with her. Robin is an accomplished surgeon, remarkable parent, and devoted friend. My mom is a proud Albertan. She grew up in Spruce Grove, population 500. She attended the University of Alberta for her Bachelor's of Science and MD, and then completed training in general surgery at the University of Toronto, colorectal surgery at the Cleveland Clinic, as well as training in clinical epidemiology at McMaster University, before joining the faculty at the University of Toronto. She is a fellow of the Royal College of Physicians and Surgeons of Canada, a fellow of the American College of Surgeons, and a fellow ad hominem of the Royal College of Surgeons of Edinburgh. She is a diplomat of the American Board of Surgery and the American Board of Colorectal Surgery, and she holds many other fellowships around the world. She was recently made an Officer of the Order of Canada, an honor so worthy of her. To say she had a prolific career is an understatement. It was no secret that my mom's career and family are her two biggest loves in her life. She always made a point of that. I am the youngest of two daughters. As a family, we've had many adventures, made many memories, which created a close family bond. We traveled the world together and spent dreamy summers at the cottage. On Valentine's Day each year as kids, we were greeted in the morning with a special card and chocolate that our mom had left for us. We celebrated Halloween in the most beautiful handmade costumes. We likely drove our mom crazy, changing our minds in the months and weeks leading up to Halloween. We spent Saturday nights dancing in the kitchen to a favorite radio program called Saturday Night Oldies. This instilled a love of cooking and entertaining. Our family life was so rich until it wasn't. If someone asked me to write the story of my life, never in a million years would I have thought Alzheimer's disease would be a major plot line. Naively, I thought that my mom would be like the United States Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who enjoyed her life's work until the end. When my mom was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, it was and will remain the worst day of my life. Despite the sadness, I knew I didn't want to stand around watching and waiting. I felt compelled to act, and I turned this new reality into a positive. I decided to create an initiative called Race with Steph. I had the bold vision and idea that I would race across Canada to raise money for research, create a conversation, and spread awareness for this terrible disease, and build community along the way. To me, there's really nothing more uniquely and proudly Canadian than racing across this spread out country, bringing communities together. Over 4 months, from May 28th to September 17th, 2023, I completed one triathlon in each Canadian province. That's over 500 kilometers of racing. Triathlon, for those unfamiliar, is swimming, biking, and running in succession, with distances varying depending on the race. The shortest time between races was 5 days, and the longest stretch was 2 weeks. I had a stretch where I raced 4 consecutive weekends. Race with Steph had its physical demands, but really it was the logistics and planning that were much more demanding. Over 4 months, I took 16 flights and traveled more than 32,000 kilometers. I assembled and disassembled my bike 14 times in order to transport it on the plane with me. I worked throughout this challenge, meaning I was at my corporate job through the week and flew out on Thursday or Friday to race on the weekends. We luckily avoided any major snafus. I did, however, break my toe during my first half Ironman coming out of the water, stubbing it on an exposed tree root. Unknown to me that it was broken, I continued on completing a 90-kilometer bike and a half marathon. It's amazing the power of adrenaline. Fortunately, I had 3 weeks until my next race and ample time to make a full recovery. I'll just say the picture on the right is me at the finish line of race number 3 with my mom, Robin. This was a really special race because this race was 20 kilometers from her hometown of Spruce Grove. So it was incredibly special to come through the finish line and seeing her. And then the other 2 are pictures from Newfoundland. For me, I'm most proud of my mom. She came to 7 of my 10 races. As I rounded the corner towards the finish line, I always looked for her. I would see her with a big smile on her face. No matter the physicality and the obstacles to do this challenge, I would do Race with Steph 10 times over for my mom. She was so proud of me and what we were achieving together. I created Race with Steph not only to honor my mom, but to recognize all of those impacted by the disease. Alzheimer's disease quickly strips you of your dignity, autonomy, and your sense of self. It is not only one of the diseases we fear the most, but carries a lot of stigma, social isolation, and shame. I thought by sharing our story, we could help reduce the negative connotation. If even this scion of science, medicine, and intellect was susceptible, then who else could be? What a powerful way to humanize an inhuman disease. Throughout Race with Steph, I repeated a maxim when I was running or needed an extra boost. I told myself many small steps lead to big outcomes. A maxim for courage, discipline, and persistence. At times when that maxim didn't work, an expletive did the trick. When my mom was first diagnosed, I didn't know what to do. I knew I had to do something. I took that first step with my idea. The discipline and persistence powered the steps that followed. These small, deliberate steps do lead to big outcomes. I believe this motto applies to how we think about our brain health. Alzheimer's disease disproportionately affects women by about 2/3, and the brain changes 20 or more years before symptoms manifest. We know that by maintaining a healthy diet, regular exercise and activity, mental stimulation, social engagement, high-quality sleep, and removing vices supports a healthy brain. I believe if you start showing up for yourself, it is the repetition of doing something repeatedly where you start to see the results. It might not be immediate. Be patient, stick with it. Sorry, instant gratification. As for Race with Steph, I'm so proud to say that we raised more than $850,000 and created the Dr. Robin McLeod Research Scholarship at the University of Toronto for research in neurodegenerative disease. Thank you. Thank you. We're on our way, hopefully, to $1 million. That's our goal. And so it means that every year, in perpetuity, we will be able to fund 1 to 4 graduate students in the study of neurodegeneration, which obviously we're all here for it, and it's very important. Race with Steph will continue on. This is only the beginning. We are champions for brain health. We hope to inspire others to take action along the way. For more information and to follow along, you can go to our website, racewithsteph.com, or you can follow me on Instagram and other social media channels with the same name. We would love to have you join the community. Now, on to the main event. We're set for a day filled with learning, sharing, and community building. Thank you for being here to support and contribute to this important dialogue on brain health and dementia. Let the learning begin.